Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing 10 standout drugstore products that I really enjoy. Products that really stand out to me that are really good in the drugstore, really killing it. I have some eyeshadow, some brow products. I have some concealers, some foundations, highlighters. So I have kind of a bunch here, and I actually was pulling for this video and had like 30 products that I wanted to mention. So if you want to see a part 2 or a part 3 of this, give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and let's get into what I've been loving from the drugstore. First up is this Maybelline Full Coverage Super Stay Foundation. This is one of their newer foundations. It says 24-hour wear. I'm wearing it right now. I have the shade 220 Natural Beige. I really like this foundation. I don't get greasy, but I don't look dry. It's not overly matte on me. It is full coverage. I also do find this quite smoothing on my pore areas, anywhere that I have texture. I just feel like it really smooths out my skin, and it looks pretty lightweight, especially if I use a sponge to apply it. So really quite happy with this foundation. It has now become top drawer. I've even mixed it with other foundations as well, and it plays nicely with others. So I've really been enjoying this, and it's a staple for me now. Another foundation that has really wowed me, and if you've been watching me recently, you would know that I am loving the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. First of all, I love the component. It kind of has that Clinique vibe or the Shape Tape vibe where you can just kind of paint it on, and I really enjoy that. I have 3 shades. This is my darkest one, MN4. It's a little bit dark, but I mix it in with lighter shades. This truly does give a healthy look to your skin. It's a nice medium coverage. Again, I can mix it in with something like the Maybelline or something higher coverage if I feel like I need a little bit more help. But it really just melds into the skin and somehow looks healthy and kind of dewy but not greasy. It doesn't break apart. It stays on the skin nicely. It just really evens out the skin tone. This foundation has literally become one of my top drawer. Anywhere that I'm dry, especially on my forehead, I will use this, and it just looks so healthy. It just looks like skin. Not a lot of foundations hit the mark in terms of looking like skin, really natural, radiant, but also having some coverage. A lot of the dewier foundations literally have no coverage. This does have a medium coverage, so I am loving this. It doesn't break me out. I just really enjoy this. So this has been another product that's really wowed me. Moving on to a drugstore concealer, I've been really impressed with the new Flower Beauty. I think this is called the Light Illusion Concealer. I'm not sure if I would say this is 100% full coverage. I would say it's like a high medium, you can build it. But again, this does not look drying. It's kind of like the Physicians Formula in the sense that it has a radiant, I don't want to say radiant, but it's kind of creamy. It's like the NARS Radiant Creamy, but it just has a thin feel, but it's very healthy under the eyes. It's not cakey, it's not drying, it doesn't cling to dry patches, and I really enjoy it. I have the shade Light, and again, I keep this top drawer. This is one of those newer concealers that came to the market in terms of drugstore, and I was really impressed. I think the packaging is really nice, the price is right. The only thing is that we need more shades, but other than that, I'm really liking it. Another product that I've been loving is a powder from CoverGirl, and this is their new Vitalist Healthy Powder. I don't know if this is just revamped packaging or a brand new product. I've tried CoverGirl powders in the past and been quite impressed. And I have the shade here, Classic Ivory. I like to use this to smooth over my foundation. I did bake under the eye today, but then I used a damp sponge and stamped this into the rest of my skin. And it just really is smoothing. It's lightweight. To me, it feels almost like the MAC Next to Nothing powder. Really nice and lightweight, smoothing. Maybe has a tiny bit of coverage, but nothing crazy, nothing cakey. So I really like this as a finishing powder or just kind of a touch-up powder. I would keep this in my purse. So from the new line, this is a standout product for me. A brow product that really has been top drawer for me, and I've never spoken about it on my channel, is actually the Collab Shape and Shade Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I did a video with Collab quite a while ago. This is in the shade Ash Brown, and to me this is basically a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz or the Benefit Precisely My Brow. I used it in my brows today in conjunction with another product I'm going to talk about, and it really works the same. The price is right. I really enjoy this. I mean, it stays on. It's not too waxy, but it has enough pigment. Some brow products don't have any pigment, and I find myself kind of just like drawing really heavily on there, and some are super pigmented where it looks quite harsh, and this is a nice medium. You can get this at Sally Beauty, and I'm quite impressed with some of their products that I tried in my video. I'll have it in the cards maybe so you guys can check it out if you want to see, but I really enjoy this, and it is in my top drawer. I've never spoken about it on my channel, but to me, this and the ABH Brow Wiz or the Benefit Precisely My Brow, if you had them unlabeled, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So it works just as well as the high end, and it is more affordable. Speaking of brows, I did use this to fill in my brows today, and this is the Tattoo Studio by Maybelline. I just recently talked about this in my favorites video. I'm in soft brown, and I talked about how I thought the component was a little bit weird because it had like a lip gloss applicator, but I just used an angled brush and fill in my brows. So I basically outlined my brows with the collab pencil, and then I fill them in with this. It has a sticky texture, but it dries down really nicely, and it looks really uniform. Sometimes with pomades, they can get patchy on the areas where you don't have any hair or you have thicker brow hairs, and I don't find this does it, and it really hangs on. I notice when I wipe my makeup off at the end of the night, it's still hanging on nicely. So this would be great for summertime if you're sweating or you're going to the pool and you're self-conscious about your brows. I just really am impressed with this. Another product I've been using quite a bit off camera is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set Brow Mascara, and I have this in the shade Blonde. Now I probably could go darker, but this to me is so similar to a Charlotte Tilbury brow product that I have. This is very light, so it's not crazy pigmented, which is nice. This is not going to be something that you put on and go. Maybe it's because I have a lighter shade, but this is nice, like a finishing touch when you're done with your brows. Sometimes I'll put it in before to kind of give my brows a little bit of life if I feel like I put too much foundation on them and I just can't kind of map them out. I really enjoy this. This is a tiny little wand, but a good amount of product comes on there, and I like that it's so small because you can really be precise. Obviously not everybody has huge bushy brows, so really enjoy this. I find that it stays all day, it doesn't look clumpy, and it has enough pigment to really do something, but it's not crazy streaks. I tried one from MAC actually, the Pro Longwear, and I don't know if I got a deep shade, but it leaves streaks and it's kind of like really ununiform, so I actually prefer this over that. So I wanted to mention this if you were kind of eyeing the Charlotte Tilbury or something more high-end. I think you'll really be happy with this. Next up, I have a highlighter duo that I'm really loving. I purchased this myself. This is from Pixie in the shade Subtle Sunrise, and this is a duo highlighter palette. The price is high, that's the only thing I will say, but these are crazy wet looking, metallic, just super wet on the skin. I really enjoy this. I picked mine up at Target, and I want to say it was like 20 bucks, so you are paying, you know, $10 per highlighter, which, you know, it's not terrible, but it's not great. But look at the pigment on these. These are so intense. You could use them on inner corners, you can use them on your eyes, but I just really was wowed by these. When I swatched these, I was like, ooh, and then when I put them on my face, it just has a really wet metallic look, very similar to the Tom Ford Sheer Glow Duo that I spoke about in my Sephora recommendations video. So obviously quite cheaper. It is considered drugstore because you can get it at Target. This is the priciest thing I am going to mention, but really enjoyed this and was quite impressed. Next up, I want to talk about an eyeshadow palette that I purchased a couple months ago and I've really been enjoying. And this is the Makeup Revolution Soph X palette. You guys had told me to pick this up, and I am so impressed with this, along with the highlighting palette that they collaborated on. This is a beautiful palette. I've used it a handful of times and I've always had a good look with it. I use the mattes mostly, and I just kind of sweep them in my crease for a more natural look. The price point on Makeup Revolution is amazing, and you can pick this up at Ulta. So I was really impressed with this, as well as a few other palettes from them. Honestly, I really love their brand, and I think that they have crazy good prices for good quality. So if you're on the fence, I would say go for it. This is a really nice palette. I mean, you've got these pinky orange shades down here, then you've got the bronzy tones, you've got lots of neutral mattes to use in the crease, and then you can go more smoky. For me, this is a more natural, kind of pop a couple colors in your crease, maybe a shimmery color on your lid and go. So I think it's really pretty and the price is right. And the last thing I wanted to mention is the NYX Intense Butter Glosses. So these are sticky, so I will warn you if you don't like sticky. you probably wouldn't like these, but these are super, super pigmented, very much like the Anastasia Beverly Hills glosses or like the MAC lip glasses. So I have the shade Peanut Brittle and I have Cookie Butter. And this is Cookie Butter, so it's more like a taupey grayish nude. And then Peanut Brittle is more of like a warm kind of mauve-y nude. And I really, really enjoy these. I'm actually going to apply a little bit of Peanut Brittle. This just has crazy good pigment. It smells delicious. Their original butter glosses are amazing as well. So if you're looking for a gloss on a budget and you don't want to spend 20 bucks for some of the other brands, the NYX butter glosses or the Intense butter glosses are super pigmented and they're really, really pretty. Alright guys, so that is it for my 10 standout drugstore products. As I said, I have a bunch pulled aside, so if you'd like a part 2 or 3, comment down below and give me a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.